Today we are going to be discussing relationship longevity, and I 100% would bet that if I were to ask you what all do you need to make a relationship last long, probably at the top of your list would be forgiveness. And let's jump into it. All right, starting off strong, I saw this video and this is what inspired me to do this video.
Been in a relationship for 2 years and my boyfriend and I have never fought. It's
Of course, Wi-Fi.
not because we're that compatible, it's because I literally studied interpersonal psychology. Oh my god, I am so passionate about this. Especially in a relationship, it shouldn't be me versus you. It's us versus the confusion of understanding each other. For my Ivy League psychology degree, I literally spent an entire semester in a class called perception. And the next word you need to know is perspective. While perception and perspective seem kind of similar, they're actually very different. Perception is your subjective experience of the world using your 5 senses. But perspective is understanding and recognizing that everyone has their own unique perception of the world. When most couples fight or argue, it's usually got to do with some sort of communication error about where each party is coming from. One person is saying one thing, the other person is saying something else, and it's not getting through to each other. And it's usually because even from the same factual event that happened, people can have infinite different interpretations. Yeah, I can go off about this because I'm kind of a nerd in this field, but what can you use? What can I actually incorporate? The goal is clarity. It's clearing the confusion, not and I think that's why my boyfriend and I never fight, because when I don't agree with something he's doing, I'll just ask him to clarify. Like, can you explain that to me in more detail? Because my small brain is not comprehending what you're saying, but the more you explain, I think I might understand your perspective. I had to spend an entire semester learning this, but cheers to learning things faster on the internet.
All right, so basically what I got from that is that her and her partner do not argue. I never really understood what people meant when they said this. Like, I just pictured them never having a disagreement, but that's not at all what she is saying. If you and your partner do not have disagreements, then that is an issue because someone is not speaking up about their issues. And that is going to build or turn into resentment. If you have issues in your relationship and you're not bringing up your concerns to your partner, you're going to end up resenting them because buried things are still planted and planted things grow. They don't just disappear over time if you bury them or hide them or don't talk about them. You have to talk about the things that bother you. So I love the way that she put it. Not arguing just simply means I have disagreements, we have disagreements, but we talk it out like adults. And that's the way that it should be. All right, I'm back. I had to do a little bit of research on the difference between perception and perspective because I wasn't fully understanding what she was saying, but it seems like perception is subjective and it's how you interpret things, like how I feel, this is what I think, it's me, versus perspective is objective and it's based on facts and evidence. So it's kind of like when you're having an argument with your partner or a disagreement, whatever you want to call it, a conversation where you guys disagree, it's like my perception was that you left the dishes in the sink because you're lazy, versus perspective would be the truth of that. What actually went down? Why didn't you actually wash the dishes? So that's the way that I view it. And to be honest with you, that can save a whole lot of relationships because I know, like, personally in the past I've dealt with believing the worst case scenario or believing that, people have the worst intentions for me. If you just simply ask, like, again, like she said in the video, what did you mean by that? You could clear up so much confusion. And I think also, like, when you find out the truth behind something, it's like a touching moment. Like, normally people do things because they love you and they care about you and they want the best for you. And so when you figure out, like, the truth, it's like, oh, like, it's heartwarming. And that connection and that bond between you two is just built so much stronger. But we're going to move on to this next video that I saw. And it says, I was talking to my mom and she brought up a good point to me. She said a single moment of misunderstanding is so poisonous that it makes us forget the 100 lovable moments spent together within a minute. And that's why I choose understanding and forgiveness to cherish my loved ones. Our connections are measured by how we rise above confusion. Yeah. So, oh my God. This one, I mean, I kind of speaks for itself. But again, it's like, why let one moment of misunderstanding, of confusion, ruin so much good that's between you and your partner or you and your loved one? It's just, I don't know. To me, it's very immature, it's childish, and it's like, it just shows me that you have a lack of understanding in the sense that things can get better. And there's like, the way an old friend put it to me, it's kind of like when you hit rock bottom, you don't give up because you can only go up when you hit rock bottom. There's only one way to go, and that's up. And so it's just kind of like there's really no point in giving up. And there's no point of letting one, sour moment ruin an entire thing unless it's like, you know, a deal breaker for you, like cheating, then I could see that. Um and then here we go again. I thought this video was just so sweet. It says, instead of walking away, make it work. Love is hard. The reason why this one stood out to me so much is because everyone's different. You can literally put identical twins who shared the same room and have the same exact DNA, or practically the same person, can say the same things, can think each other's thoughts, wear the same clothes on accident, like literally the same person, and they still have different opinions, differing views, and they have disagreements, right? So, with that being said, every single human is going to be different. I don't care how you look at it, okay? And your partner is going to be different than you. And I find it so beautiful when we make certain sacrifices that we need to make for our partners. Like, again, leaving dishes in the sink is just our go-to example for this video, okay? So, if I know that my partner gets annoyed every time I leave dishes in the sink, that's a sacrifice I'm gonna have to make. I'm gonna have to wash my dishes, like, and not complain about it or make a big deal out of it. But the thing is, that's beautiful because I do it knowing that it makes them feel better, knowing that that's their love language is being heard or being understood. You know what I mean? So I just thought that video was so sweet because I often hear so many times from people like, "Oh, they're changing me." And I don't want to change for anybody, which I have another video for that. I'm going to see if I can find it. I probably spent like a good 30 minutes looking for that video and I couldn't find it. So if I end up finding it in the future, I'll be making another video for him. Moving on, it says, I'm dating to marry, not just spending 6-8 months together only to part ways. That's why I'm committed to fighting for a relationship. You're crazy if you think I'm leaving after seeing your insecurities and your flaws. I saw a side of you that no one else has, and I wouldn't change a single thing about you. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, is true love. Honestly, I think it's literally my dream to just like know all of a person inside and out, know them better than they know themselves, and like still pick them, still choose them, still love them. To me, that's like the ultimate intimacy, is seeing everyone's like flaws and what's like behind closed doors and still choosing to say like I love you and I'm staying and I'm not going anywhere, and like knowing this about you doesn't change how I feel about you. You know what I mean? I've always found that love to be so beautiful because that's what's true, pure, and genuine. If you know the uglies about someone and it's not enough for you to turn away, like that right there is an eternal love. It just goes to show like you didn't marry this person because you thought they were picture perfect and like everything that you ever dreamed of. Like you knew this person was imperfect and you still chose to love them. Okay. So this is going to be probably my favorite video that I'm going to show. I wonder how many times they said we're done before they got here. I wonder how many mistakes they made but still forgave before they got here. I wonder how many times they gave up before they got here. I wonder how many arguments that got through before they got here. I wonder how many times they doubted their relationship before they got here. I wonder how many final chances they gave before they got here. I wonder how many times they questioned their love before they got here. I wonder how many times they fought for the relationship before they got here. Our generation could never work through their problems like others. Man, that made me teary-eyed. Trying to keep it together over here. That video is just so freaking sweet because it shows you the truth of relationships. It's gonna be hard. You have to pick someone that's willing to stay when times get hard and not flee the moment that pressure weighs on their shoulders. You have to understand, I know personally, I've been through it, I've gone through it several times, still going through it, growing through it now, thankfully, I'm a lot better, but like I've lost so many people that were near and dear to me and to my heart. I've lost them at a young age. I don't know, how old was I, like 18, 19 when I lost my first family member. And that really changes you and it makes you like a different person. And truthfully, it does make you a lot stronger. You want someone that's going to stand by your side when like moments like those come because life happens. You will not go through life and not have a single bad thing happen to you. And my view of love, I believe is like my value, the way that I look at love, I believe is so amazing because I always say, like, I will be with a person under a bridge, sleeping with them under a bridge if I have to. It does not matter to me the car that you drive. It does not matter to me how much money you have or don't have. It does not matter to me whether or not you can provide for me. I know people are like, oh my God, that's so stupid. But like, I can provide for myself. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is how I view love. It's the fact that I'm not with this person because of what they have. I'm with this person because of who they are, how they make me feel, how I make them feel, and we just work. You know what I mean? And sometimes we don't work, but guess what? It's a choice. It's my choice and it's their choice to stay in the relationship and to be together in the first place. And I don't believe that anyone else has a say so in that. And yeah, I can get into the topic of like interracial couples and all that and how people are just so judgmental and they do not have a say so. If you're like watching this video and you're wondering like whether or not you should stay in a relationship because it's interracial, stay in the relationship. Do not be so easily persuaded by outside voices. This is why you cannot always just say things whenever they come about. Like that the moment you make something known is the moment that you allow input from other people to be said because everyone's going to say something. And you cannot please everybody because the moment you try to please one person, another person is going to be displeased. Again, because we're just all different. So at the end of the day, I say choose who you want to love. As long as that person is choosing you back. So yeah, that was a very sweet video that I liked. And before we close out, I saw this video. I just thought it was so ironic because I was like, for this video, our thing is going to be washing dishes. And look at this video I found, y'all. Did you see that? Oh my God, that was such a perfect example of a healthy relationship. Like, she could have went in there with the nastiest attitude and been like, I told you to wash the dishes and you didn't effing wash them and blah, blah, blah. Like, she could have went off on him. Personally, I don't believe in that. Like, you, like, tone it down. Okay, when you talk to your partner, it needs to be with respect. It needs to be with a calm voice. And, you know, the way I've always looked at it and the way I've always, like, taught myself and that I've always been taught, as well, is like when someone else is yelling at me, I'll lower my voice. Like if you want to hear me talk, you're gonna have to lower your voice, okay? Like I'm not playing this back and forth game of who has the loudest voice. But anyways, y'all. Okay, this one was another one. I'm gonna end it. It's so sweet and it's very short, so why not? See, sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, guys, especially listen up. Sometimes women are just overwhelmed emotionally. Like we all know women are emotional creatures. So we're gonna feel things a lot more intensely, I guess, especially when it comes to being upset and things like that. And sometimes all we need is a hug or like a kiss and just for you to like listen. Literally, if we feel invalidated, I'm telling you, the way to a woman's heart during an argument or disagreement is to validate her feelings. I'm telling you, we will not be willing to have an open mind to what you have to say. I feel like this goes both ways. If I'm feeling misunderstood, I'm going to keep talking until I know that my point is getting across. So, in order for me to have my heart, my mind open to whatever your perspective is or perception is, then I would have to like know that I'm understood. Otherwise, my point, I'm going to keep going at it and making sure that like at some point you hopefully get it. But the moment that you say, okay, I hear you. You're saying you feel this because I did this and this is why. Is that right? And then I'm like, yeah, that's right. Now I'm open to what you have to say. That is the immediate way to like shut down any argument. And just something that I've learned from like my own personal feelings, not even being in a relationship, it's just like it clicked to me one day. And so the secret recipe, if you will, seek first to understand and then to be understood. And that is a lesson in 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens. I believe the book is called by Sean Covey. I highly recommend reading it, no matter your age. I mean, PG-13. I think there's a little bit of mature content in there, but I definitely recommend giving it a read if you are like 13 and older, maybe a bit older than that. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I do hope that you learned something out of it. Again, love is a choice. Life is gonna get hard, and when you love a person, like it takes growth and it takes strength and it takes the right mindset to know that like no matter how hard this gets, like I'm gonna stay. And I'm not advocating for like abusive relationships or anything. Like of course, in serious situations like that, please do get help. But yeah, when it comes to things that can be fixed, things that are not life and death, like stay. Choose to love. Choose to fight through it. Don't get that divorce. You know what I mean? So many times like our emotions are just so high where we think the only way to fix something is to get out of it. But the truth is that's not the only way to fix it. That's the easiest way to fix it. And the easiest way to fix something is not always the best way to fix something. And I say this because oftentimes what we don't learn comes back. It's going to come back and come back and come back. So why not learn it the first time? Why not overcome your fears the first time? Why not fight the difficulty the first time? Why not try to get it right? Why not face it the first time? You know what I mean? So, yeah, like sometimes the reason why you ended one relationship and got into another is going to be the same reason why you end that relationship and get into another, and in that relationship and get into another. Like it's going to be a cycle until you're able to step back, look at yourself in the mirror and say, what is wrong with me? And I do not mean that in a bad way. I'm constantly doing internal self-checks to see what can I improve? How can I better myself? What's my mentality? Is it negative? How is my mentality like affecting my relationships, affecting my life, affecting my outlook on life. And it's like, you have to be humble enough to say that I'm not perfect, but also let me look at my flaws and come up with a plan to fix those things. You know what I mean? And to work on those things. And I believe so big in therapy for men and women. I think it's necessary. All right, guys, that is the end of today's video. I really hope that you enjoyed watching. If you did, make sure that you subscribe to see more content. Turn that bell on so you get notified when I post a new video. Make sure you like and comment and share. It means so much to me. Thanks for watching another episode of #PickMe. Love ya.